free me from the dark. May your son fight for us. It's already done, Lord, I know you are creator. Oh, so let your sun shine. Let your sun shine. Let your sun shine. Light the world, Father, we need your guidance. Let it all shine. Let your sun shine. So let your sun shine. Light the world, Father, we need your guidance. Let it all.
Light it up, I'm trying to see just where I'm going. Lord, I need your guidance. Without you, I just be roaming. Searching for a signal, I can't find it though. That's why every step that I take, I need you to shine up on. Yo, hey. Light up my pathway, make my path straight. Gotta make sure I'm in your will, cause these are the last days. I was walking in the dark like where the light go. Now every step I take is lit like Michael. They think it's diamonds on me cause you shining on me. Ain't no VVS's on my neck. If they see I'm glowing, I already know to give credit to you cause that's who I reflect. Ain't got a fret, you paid on my debt. Better wake up if you dreaming. I never knew I was rocking my clothes, but now I'm in light and I'm gleaming.
Shine down on us, free me from the dark. May your sun fight for us. It's already done, Lord, I know you are creator. Oh, so let your sun shine. Let your sun shine. Let your sun shine. Light the world, Father, we need your guidance. Let it all shine. Let your sun shine. So let your sun shine. Light the world, Father, we need your guidance. Let it all.
Energy. Changing my tendencies and my frequency to free me from my enemy. Had the propensity to match density, asked the Father to send me. The enemy was given the living me, the will to be, but not to be, so I can be, driven from grace, but I chose to be the light you see. Righteously through poverty, full of purpose to God and me. Broke the surface to rise and be. Honestly, pride will make you feel away on the inside. Running from truth, trying to get away. That water life is a prosper life. The moment you seek, you conquer strife. Along with the meek, you let the fight. And say the weak from the devil's flight. That shine down is a line down. With a climb up, you find ground. When the time's up and you wind down, triple crown, Motown.
Shine down on us, free me from the dark. May your sun fight for us. It's already done, Lord, I know you are creator. Oh, so let your sun shine. Let your sun shine. Let your sun shine. Light the world, Father, we need your guidance. Let it all shine. Let your sun shine. So let your sun shine. Light the world, Father, we need your guidance. Let it all.
Old money ain't good money. Remember that. Remember that.
Trap money lethal, rap money legal. All money ain't good money, they not equal. Keep your eyes open cause these last days evil. Keep your eyes open cause these last days
This is a quick
evil.
introduction, yeah. And comparing all hunger, this is 762. I'm doing Barry Bond numbers. Look, obviously this ain't what y'all wanted, but they'll tell you. I'm what happened when you mix the gospel with Griselda. Now let's get into it. Value of $1 isn't worth the rest. The block moving strings for change. It ain't make sense. Trappers had to do what they do, cause they ain't have a choice. Government threw the muzzles on my dogs. They ain't have a voice. Not a game. Seen them bring them Call of Duty weapons through. War zone, they hit the battlefield and brought the Tekken 2. Took a mile off an inch, no telling what the rest will do. Power of the dollar, you can smell the residue. You got bricks and drug money in the land that was paid. Every dollar that you make, it ain't gon' land in your grave. The love of money be the roots, well my man, you a slave. Yeah, your block might be a zoo, but you still stuck in the cage. But let's get past that. Out here with the bros, we move when God say. Choice been pretty easy when it's Yahweh over Yahweh. Red hood flow got me feeling like I got them night. Trap money in the house tonight.
In my pursuit to go, for new levels I reach. Aim for the sky, don't settle for less. Realize that you are the best, so aim high. In my pursuit to go, for new levels I reach.
Yo, y'all know what it is. Welcome to episode number 306. Woo!
Yes, sir.
Telling y'all, man, it's about to go down, man. Listen, it's crazy right now. And I'm telling you, I'm super excited. I got my brothers here with me. But let me just introduce everybody to the show. Excuse me. I am your host, Joe Boss. Follow me at Joe Boss Radio. Y'all know how we do. I got my DJ with me, half man, half amazing, half rapper, half producer,
Wait, which
half.
DJ is that?
Say it again.
So which DJ is that? Wait.
DJ Lost and Found.
What's up? What's up? What's up, y'all? Glad
Drop-
to be here, man.
Drop the.
Okay. Listen,
Yeah,
I'm not gonna do it for myself.
you have to. You have to.
Yeah, okay.
And also, I got my other DJ, Mr. C Live, who brings some award-winning commentary, hosting,
Appreciate you.
live events, world renowned from the Yes Hour Radio, and the brains behind Serious Voice Entertainment. Man, it's going down. What's good, family?
Oh man, everything's good, man. Good to be here. Good to be back.
Yes.
You know, I was supposed to be back last week, but it's
You got a
getting
good
crazy. It's getting- but blessing to be here.
That's all right, man. You here. That's all that matters.
Yep.
You are absolutely here right now, and that's all we worried about, man. Listen, we got a packed show for y'all on this episode. I'm telling y'all right now, we got a packed show. First off, Mr. C and I got a chance to go to the concert for the album release from Conquest's new album, and listen, it was dope. And Mr. C did a great commentary. Listen, I have to commend you, brother. That was really dope the way you did it, man.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. You know, just trying to be a blessing to the culture. You know, hey, all I'm gonna say is, with some of the events I've been going to over the last year or so, I'm gonna put it out there straight. New York City, as far as Christian rap, is back. I'm not talking about just one artist. I'm talking about collectively. New York City is back, and it's not a game.
Yeah,
It's not a game.
I will say, Conquest. If you didn't know, and you went to that Conquest concert, you should know now, because I'm telling you, it was dope, and there was a lot of people in attendance, and there was a lot of new, not necessarily new artists, but it's like a new. How can I say?
New collective. It looks.
It's a new wave. It's a new wave.
It's a new wave.
Yes,
It's definitely
yes.
a new wave of artists.
Definitely.
They hungry. They talented, and they love God.
Mm-hmm.
It's all of that is just, it's amazing, man. It's amazing. You know, so big shouts to him. Big shouts to Conquest again for putting together such an amazing show. We'll talk more about that later. Also, we got some heavy topics. Heavy topics. We're gonna talk about the murder of Jordan Neely. He was the African American male who was choked to death on the subway after having for what they claim could be a mental health breakdown, but where he was basically begging for food and drink, and basically talking about how he was homeless and different things, and somehow ended up in the chokehold from a U.S. Marine, which led to his death. It's tragic. It's led to a lot of outrage. It's led to different conversations about mental health, homelessness, and of course, you know, protecting Black men. So we're going to speak about that later. Another conversation that we're going to have is the lawyer and television host, Eboni K Williams. She went and said some crazy things about how, you know, average men are not good enough, and is quoted for her interview with celebrity family fixer, I guess if you want to call her that, Iyanla Van Zant. Iyanla Van Zant fixed my life, where she spoke about, you know, dating and how the dating pool is not working out. And Iyanla asked her, you know, would you date a bus driver? And her response was, only if he owns the bus. which sparked huge backlash on social media. And then so much so, even Dr. Umar Johnson responded, and it got spicy.
Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah. So we're gonna talk about that. LNF is gonna lead us into a conversation about the CH8's summer playlist from Reach.
Oh, you want me to get the smoke? Wow. Throw him to the wolves. Throw him to the wolves, man. I'm trying to be on the summer playlist. Like somebody else take the hit.
It's just gonna be lost. Never
right,
Joe.
Right.
Yo, y'all are hilarious. I need to see the close up of y'all laughing at this.
Oh man,
it's gonna go down.
You're not slandering nobody. I'm just putting that out there.
No slander.
We're not slandering nobody.
No slander. We're just gonna talk about the playlist and how certain Reach artists claim that they don't get paid to be a part of that list.
Certain artists, not Reach artists.
Oh, just artists, period.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We'll get into it.
And that's exactly why you have to lead this conversation, because you got the deets. So, and last but not least, we're gonna talk about AI technology and how mega producer Timbaland has created a collaboration with Notorious B.I.G using AI technology. It's gonna get dicey because Notorious B.I.G has been deceased for 2 decades, and using AI technology, this is an original verse.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're gonna play it too. Y'all gonna hear it.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it.
Wow.
I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, we actually might need to start with that conversation on the AI, only because because we got some heavy conversations to have and we got some good conversations to have. So I kind of want to start off on a good note,
Right. Before it gets ugly. Right.
Before it gets ugly. Let me give y'all a little ice cream with this medicine.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I'll lose my connects. All right, cool.
You said before you lose your connects.
Before I lose my connects.
Yes. I didn't mean for it to sound like we was throwing you under the bus, sir. I just thought it would be appropriate, but I feel you if you're uncomfortable.
It's all good. That. I chose violence. It's all good.
Okay, listen. So, make sure we're gonna keep DJ Lost and Found in prayer. We want to make sure that if we have to hold a candlelight visual for him after the conversation, we still got love for you here on Rise Up Worldwide, man. Right. And just so y'all know, the opinions of DJ Lost and Found are not necessarily the opinions of Rise Up Worldwide.
I concur.
and don't be in the same city as Lecrae. Lecrae's like 6'5", like 240. That boy's a big man. So good luck with that.
we was talking about Tim Ross last week. I was just talking to my wife. I was like, we was talking about Tim Ross. Tim Ross is in my city. So I'm like, yo, dude might roll up. Not him, but he might send somebody. You know what I mean?
See, and that's the thing.
I never see that coming.
You had a friendly face in Dallas a couple of weeks ago. So I can't even help you now. I tried to come down and lend a helping hand a couple of weeks ago. Man, and I guess you was too busy.
I was knocked out. I ain't gonna lie. I was knocked out. Took my mom's apartment shopping and I was knocked out.
Oh man. So y'all didn't even get a chance to link up.
Nah.
No.
That's all right.
That's LNF's excuse to say he didn't really want to rock with you. You know what I mean?
Hey, see, I was in the building last night. You know what's up. I was supporting last night. Where were you at, Joe? Where were you at?
I don't know. I know nothing of what you were supporting.
520, baby. I'm gonna go ahead and move over to 520.
Yes, sir. He was on
20. I think they
Oh,
got
so
to me.
that's why you don't have the, that's why you never had the rise up signage behind. Never mind, forget that.
See, technically, that wouldn't be the first time.
So
got the checks, baby.
So you pulling a Brock Lesnar. You can show up to any brand at any time. That's a bad joke.
I'm with it.
Listen, get to the music, man.
Man, they don't even want to introduce it. Bizzle, $1 million.
Yeah, stay tuned, stay blessed.
I ride
my lane, I'm in no rush. My faith in him, I trust. Yahweh, he fills my cup. Now I feel like a million bucks.
I gotta brag on my father, my dad. Gave him the wheel and I hopped in the back. I know he got me, so I gotta ask him, what can I do for you, not can I have? I went astray, went out of my way to cop me them J's and pop me a tag. I was a dummy for loot, but as soon as I stopped chasing money, he dropped me the bag. Louis the duffel and Rolly the wrist. Man, now I could do it, I don't even do it. Invest in the plan and bless who I can. As quick as I got it, I know I could lose it. I ain't gotta do it for the gram, I'ma do it for the fam. Go stupid for the land with the music. Grew up in the sewer doing bad, then the ruler sent the Uber. Now I'm moving on the path, yeah, sure. I ride
my lane, I'm in no rush. My faith in him, I trust. Yahweh, he fills my cup. Now I feel like a million bucks.
Y'all be knocking it. It's a bop till I drop a little God in it. But you rockin' when they pop the wop in it. If I pop a Glock in it, they gobble it. But we stopping it. Trying to get us out of this environment. Keep us out the box, they try to lock us in. They pushing it, I'm tired of watching it. I put a foot up in them like a moccasin. Other than that, I'm having a great day. Running with cats that feel the same way. Gunning like a tunnel of rats, just you a gang. Anybody wanted with that got a decayed brain. You know what it is on mine. Got the Hugo from him, no pride. He the Uno, who know duo can go against so Mike. If you know, then you know who sits on high. I ride
my lane, I'm in no rush. My faith in him, I trust. Yahweh, he fills my cup. Now I feel like a million bucks.
Y'all know what it is, man. Rise up worldwide. Listen. We starting off real spicy, so I hope y'all ready to go. Cause we got Mr. T over here. We know he love to talk trash. DJ Lost and Found just told me that he finna go to another show.
They pay better, man.
Any brand at any time.
And he's fitting to cut Reach Record at the knees. Ooh.
Wow.
It's going down on this episode, man.
Wow.
Hey. Well, Lecrae said it best. Welcome to America.
This No. No, this is America.
Or if he gets mad, hammer time. Never mind, forget it.
Oh wow. Oh wow.
Had to bring that one back. Classic.
That is 1K.
Shout out to Lecrae and that 1K Few.
That's his best verse.
I mean, yeah.
That's the best verse on the album. That verse is crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So let's jump into this AI conversation, man. As we mentioned, mega producer Timbaland created a collaboration with the Notorious B.I.G using AI technology. He posted it on IG, and the post has since gone viral. Listen, at right now, I think it has about 18,000 likes and over 3,000 comments. So let's actually let it play. LNF.
Yes, sir.
All right, so I'm sitting here with my brother, Creative God, and we know that there's a lot of talk about AI, and we know how the feelings of violating certain things, but let me tell you something. I got a solution. I'm working on it. It's going to be beneficial to everybody. But in the meantime, you know, I got to share something I've been working on because I always wanted to do this and I never got a chance to. I always wanted to work with Big and I never got a chance to until today. It came out right. Play.
Breathe. Not a pimp, but I keep the trick up my sleeve. Roll my cigarette, fuck around and get your big seed. Got her in my palm, she won't be my man, please. Look up, cheese. It ain't on me, it's in me. Keep all my gold so blowing when I'm
Archie Kids.
Taking cabinets from my canine, that's my shooting. Drop the giants, that's what I am literally. Her man don't give a gift, she said it's not giving. If you want to smoke, I gotta keep a hot chimney. See how it pop smoke, young dog, pot Nipsey. A lot of air.
Hey, hide your kids. Hide your kids. He said Big. Y'all know who Big is.
Man. I did.
Why is that going on? Good Lord.
Listen, for those of you, I'm sorry, I can't even stop laughing. For those of you watching live, we apologize for the advertisements that TikTok tends to show after. But in any case, listen, first take on hearing it, right? It was on cadence for a Big song.
It sound like Big.
Yeah, it definitely sound like Big.
Sound like Big.
It sounds like Big. It's almost scary how good it is, to be honest with you. To be that good from AI technology to sound like Notorious B.I.G. Man, it's
I'm gonna say this. I think it definitely sounds like Big, and I think that I'm not surprised, man, because at this point, like, they doing holograms, so getting the audio now, you know what I mean? Once they can get the holograms to actually look real, that joint gonna go crazy. You know what I mean? So for me, I'm like, I think that there's bigger issues to me. I don't know. I'm not a part of his family. Maybe they feel a certain type of way.
Yeah,
because he passed a long time ago. You know what I mean? Yeah. But on the business end, like, this is huge. Imagine he had just put that joint out. Like, he got so many, and he is connected, so he can handle the business end. But that joint would make a lot of money, but it's going to be a lot of fights too when it comes to royalties and ownership and copyright, stuff like that, and likeness of Big's voice. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So
I'm glad you brought that up, because I'll be honest, those are issues I hadn't thought about at all.
Okay.
I hadn't thought about that at all. My thought was, my initial thought was like, wow, like, this is really scary, because I remember when they came out with that AI artist who actually got a deal. Remember that? He was completely AI. He wasn't like a real person at all. I can't remember his name, but it was completely computer generated, and they had actually signed him to a deal. And then because of all the backlash, they ended up canceling it.
Right.
And now, so instead of actually having, an artist do it, they could just program an artist to sound like Notorious B.I.G. And if they could do it for Big, who's been dead for almost 2 decades, imagine what they could do with a current artist. They could have somebody easily sound like a J. Cole or a Kendrick Lamar, or anybody that's super famous, a Drake.
They already did that.
But they already did a Drake, and I think they did a Jay-Z, and they both got very upset. I think, oh my God. Of course, Jay-Z's label, and I'm drawing a blank, obviously. Everybody knows Jay-Z's label.
Yeah.
But, I'm sorry?
Rockefeller.
Are
you talking about Rockefeller, or are you talking about
Rock Nation? Rock Nation, I think, I'm not sure they took out a lawsuit, but they were basically making noise about the infringement and all this stuff. Those are some of the first wave of conversations.
Right.
I know, Joe, you said you didn't think about it, but like within the first a couple of days, within the first 24 to 48 hours after like this started happening, there was waves and backlash. I mean, Drake was very upset.
Wow.
That they did a verse or like a song with his likeness. Somebody did a song with Jay-Z's likeness, and Rock Nation got very upset. So yeah, the mega stars and in music are not very happy about this whatsoever, because anybody, like you said, they can do anybody's voice and make an album with anybody's voice and run off and make money under the radar. That's not under the radar as easily, but just like just imagine within the first week, somebody could just run off and sell records or just make money for that ability. So it's a real problem. It's a real problem. Not to mention, within the last few days, the case with Marvin Gaye just happened with the infringement. So that's gonna skyrocket now. There's gonna be a whole lot of those cases going to court.
Wow.
Right. That's what I was saying with the NFTs. If you do an NFT, do it and then move the money through crypto, they ain't never seen that. You never seen that.
Right.
True story.
Wow.
And now, of course, there's a couple of takeaways. Like now, remember like the solid gold like archive albums where how it feels, how the songs sound in the 60s and the 70s. That's easier to do now. Like, so to say, okay, let me help you get a feel of what Notorious B.I.G. sounded like, or maybe what Big L sounded like, or maybe one of these deceased artists. That's a good thing. But the other side of it is, like we're talking about, the infringement piece. That's the bad takeaway.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Wow, man, these are such huge points that you guys are bringing up, because for these exact reasons is why cryptocurrency in general has been challenged in a lot of levels, because people can basically can use it for illegal reasons, or they could use it to hide money anywhere in the world. Because it's really hard to track. There's no quote unquote regulation, right? It's not regulated by a bank or the SEC. So like if we pulled our money together right now, we could technically start our own cryptocurrency. I looked it up. You only need like $5,000 to start a cryptocurrency, which is, nothing compared to what you would need to start like a bank or a financial institution, right? To do something like that and to start it and then, sell, exchange money through your own cryptocurrency is very possible and very legal.
Right. Of course, the caveat with that is, of course, under the Biden administration now, anything over $600 with digital transactions now is taxable. Anything over $600, as far as like revenue.
I mean, okay.
Yeah, that's the only. That's the before. I mean, like in the early stages of crypto, it was the Wild Wild West.
Yeah,
but now they put that tax restriction, if you will, that tax restriction on anything over 600. Boom, IRS gonna hit you up.
Gotta report that.
Yeah,
and then also, I think the one saving grace that they have, especially for the bigger artists out there, if you're trying to collect royalties, is going to be much more difficult. Right? They're gonna see that stuff like the. I'm sure Big's estate, whoever's running his estate, could catch that real quick. You know what I mean? Whereas smaller artists, or let's say somebody was trying to get somebody in CHH, it probably takes some time to get that ironed out and fixed. But Big, they're not going to get away with no royalties. That's not going to happen.
No.
You know what I mean?
No, they're going to challenge that right away.
Right.
They're not going to let that slide at all. I mean, so now I'm gonna speak about it as a fan, right? From the business side of it, there's all kinds of problems, right? As a fan of the music, however, I'm not gonna lie, like this isn't kind of exciting, right? To hear a quote unquote fresh Big verse, never before heard, original lyrics.
Is it
the fan in me from junior high school who basically loved Big completely, so much to the point that to this day I've never really listened to Tupac, right? Because of the whole East Coast West Coast beef. That's how involved I was in it. At least I thought I was in junior high, right? To hear some new music from Big, listen, even though I know it's not really him, I'm still excited to hear it. I'm not gonna lie about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to hear the whole song and hear what they could do with it, because listen, you know, BC Joe before Christ, Big was the man to me. You know what I'm saying? A big dude that had bars, that was getting women, you know, it got money. That was everything to me. Right. So to hear that, to see that now, even though I'm saved, childhood me is super excited.
I can see why you say that, because, like, you know, like, even when Tupac, probably within the first, I'm gonna say 3 to 5 years after his death, people were still excited about the unreleased song, the unreleased verse. You know, whoa, man, that's another. So, like, you know, like when Hot 97 would talk about it in their morning show, oh man, Tupac there's another unreleased song, you know, circulating
everywhere,
from Tupac, everywhere. So I can kind of understand where you're coming from in that regard.
Yeah,
I think most of it. I don't think most of it even stood up though to Pac's classic records. Like, you had the joint he did with Nas, Gangsta's Paradise. Was it that? Yeah. That joint was dope. But other than that, and shout out to MC Nice who produced that. But other than that, there's not much. I remember buying one of the albums. I forgot which one it was, but bought one of the joints. For me, at least, it wasn't it. That's me.
I feel you. I mean, listen, whether you like the songs or not, the point is you're still fiending to hear it, right? Like, even if I hear a new Jay-Z record, right? To me, Jay-Z's best album to this day, to me, is probably The Blueprint, right? If not The Blueprint, definitely Blueprint 2. It's definitely 1 and 2 for me. That's my opinion, right?
Reasonable Doubt?
Reasonable Doubt was good, but to me, I'm just more of a fan of The Blueprint, right?
Blueprint's dope.
5 mics. You know what I'm saying?
From a nostalgic beat standpoint, I can't remember everything, but I gotta, as far as a sleeper, I would have to go with also the Life and Times of S. Carter. That was definitely like a solid one as well.
Right.
Yeah.
But the point that I'm making is that to say if they hold up to that level, that's a matter of opinion, right? But the fact is, if Jay-Z drops a record right now, people are gonna eat it up because it's Jay-Z. If they came out with a whole new single of just AI Biggie Smalls, people are gonna eat it up because it's reminiscent of Biggie Smalls and what he meant for the culture of hip hop. So that's what I'm saying. Like, this is gonna get big, and it's gonna be issues behind it, obviously on the business side. But as a fan of the culture, I'm kind of looking forward to it. So we'll see how it plays out. But that's, I think that it's not great for the culture per se, because now it's taking the place of people who are rapping now and really doing it as opposed to a computer generated thing. But at the same time, I think that it's pretty cool.
This to me is like deepfake technology. This gets dangerous. Where somebody can put out a record. Somebody can put out a DJ Lost and Found record. It's not gonna have my voice on it, but what if they put it out and it's like explicitives everywhere, and then it's under my name? You know what I mean? And then it pops off. Then I got a choice. Am I gonna stick to my convictions, or am I gonna roll with the fame? Right?
That's a real good question.
So for me, I don't rock with it because it's not the real thing. So or put it in a category where it says AI generated or something like that, so that people know this ain't the real thing, but you can still listen to it on your own listening pleasure. You know what I mean?
Right.
I actually like that idea. Like, you know, like it's like a subgenre,
right?
Maybe some sort of a digital subgenre, and the rule of thumb is there can be no profitability off of it. Almost like a mixtape rule of thumb. Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. You can't sell it. You can't make no money off it, but you can post it. You can post it on whatever, Bandcamp, whatever. You know.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can respect that, and then you're just doing it for fun, but it does lead to that, you know, is AI technology going too far? Because listen, lyrics come directly from what's in your heart, right? As a rapper, I'm telling you that whatever is on my mind the day I write a song, that's what I'm writing about. If I'm sad, it's a sad song. If I'm amped, it's an amped song, right? So if you can AI create the lyrics on that level, it's like, whoa. If they can create something that sounds like you, they already been trying to clone us since forever. They cloning chicken now. You know what I'm saying? They've been trying to. They already had Tupac on stage with digitization. You know,
look fake.
I mean, it looked fake, but at the same time, it's like the entertainment value of it. You know what I mean? Like, you almost can't put a price on it. And people bought concert tickets to see that, knowing it wasn't the real him, knowing it was fake, but you still want to experience it for yourself.
Right.
I don't know. You know. Listen, let's take a break. Let's go into some music. We can continue this conversation when we come back, and then we also gonna jump into some heavy conversations. We have to address this conversation with the murder of Jordan Neely. We definitely got to get into that. So, what you got lined up for us, LNF?
We're gonna get into this TuKool Tiff. Push it.
Y'all know what it is. Stay tuned. Stay blessed.
On the microphone, a menace to the monsters. Every time I get that microphone, I minister to monsters. Much like my mother's mother, I don't mingle in no mess. I make music for the master, mute that demon in your chest. I've been pushing since my mama pushed me out. I push the boundaries, I push the pin, the pad, and push and pray out principalities. Wish a pusher would try to push the G up out of me. That G come with OD, the Trinity, despite the Sadducees. Okay. Locked into the kingdom agenda, might not wanna be in the way. New wine, break bread, and remember we're drunk in the spirit, so pardon the sway. I'm pushing it just like it ran out of gas. I'm pushing that thing like it's pushing me back. If you are not pushing me, you are not good for me. Truthfully, I am just pushing the facts. Push it, 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 push. Now if the devil try to push me, I push back like per my last email, then respond with the same words, highlighting important details like I ain't blind, see the devil lurk. You can form a weapon, won't work. Old me dead in the dirt. I don't need bread, give me word. Relationship over religion, an easy decision. I do not know what you heard. If you cannot get with the vision, then that is division, and you on the enemy's turf. Ain't the world lose your soul, my God, what is eternity worth? How a dollar cost you a walking Molotov? I am not involved, cause I'm too locked into the kingdom agenda, might not wanna be in the way. New wine, break bread, and remember we're drunk in the spirit, so pardon the this way. I'm pushing it just like it ran out of gas. I'm pushing that thing like it's pushing me back. If you are not pushing me, you are not good for me. Truthfully, I am just pushing the facts. Locked into the kingdom agenda, might not wanna be in the way. New wine break, better remember we drunk in the spirit, so pardon this way. I'm pushing it just like it ran out of gas. I'm pushing that thing like it's pushing me back. If you are not pushing me, you are not good for me. Truthfully, I am just pushing the facts.
The method is rather aggressive. Can't help it, I'm zealous. It's proven, it's tested. I'm proof. You just see me now. You ain't know 11 back then. I was uncouth. Now I look back like wow. Now my whole life on 10. I be like 9 to temptation. I don't fixate on frustration. 7 billion population. IG, TikTok, meditation. I never fold unless it's 5. Got over gold, forever the trial. Triple it flow, my God is alive. I choose to be cold, refresh and revive. And that's how it go. One push at a time. Absolute zero, no hero like mine.
Locked into the kingdom agenda, might not wanna be in the way. New wine break, better remember we drunk in the spirit, so pardon this way. I'm pushing it just like it ran out of gas. I'm pushing that thing like it's pushing me back. If you are not pushing me, you are not good for me. Truthfully, I am just pushing the facts.
Push it, 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 I push it, I push it. Don't you push me!
If you ever catch me in the crosshairs, better stop there. Who I fight for is not fair. I am not scared. Put a pretty piece of prayer on your top hairs. What's an op to the omnipotent Godhead? God told Saul to kill him all unless he fall. He tried to ball and got caught in the sand, finished him off. But David was a boss, he kept it raw. Although he was small, knew that he was called to cut the giant's head off. Stay locked into the kingdom agenda, might not wanna be in the way. New wine break, better remember we drunk in the spirit, so pardon this way. I'm pushing it just like it ran out of gas. I'm pushing that thing like it's pushing me back. If you are not pushing me, you are not good for me. Truthfully, I am just pushing the facts.
When I think of the goodness and all he has done for me, my soul cries out, hallelujah!
And he try to say lies. Everyone think they hot until you put the fire to them. Came out my mama and I was covered in lighter fluid. Think I could walk on water since I saw Messiah do it. Thank God I walked on water, it must be the line of Judah. I think you wash your hands if you really saw Pilate do it. I know depression feel like Goliath when fighting through it. I might have blew my mind if I didn't title what I was doing. I saw the fire column in the sky and I'm flying to it. Everybody think they hot till the fire come. You not a gremlin cause you could order a higher gun. If you offended and grab a sword then you'll die from one. Don't get it twisted, you just a wick to the wicked. Everyone think they hot until you put the fire to them. Came out my mama and I was covered in lighter fluid. Think I could walk on water since I saw Messiah do it. Thank God I walked on water, it must be the line of Judah. I suffered lots of the pain, I was like a moth to the flame. I thought I might feel accomplished if I just caught me a chain. If not then call me a dame, if not then pop up with fame. Get props and probably out rap you, walk off and call you a lame. That was my passion. You saw the movie Crash, it's a fact, I was crashing. Yeah. Daddy was a dragon, mama semi-automatic. Let the captain lit the flame just like a candle. Like if Lazarus was turned into the ashes on the mantle. Yeah. Everybody think they hot till the fire come. Spirit inside of me gave me fuel for the fire tongues. He took my piety and replaced it with quiet love. I was an enemy, now Messiah a friend of me. Everyone think they hot until you put the fire to them. Came out my mama and I was covered in lighter fluid. Think I could walk on water since I saw Messiah do it. Thank God I walked on water, it must be the line of Judah.
Whoo! Back to back fire. My man LNF, my man LNF was not playing games when he put this playlist together. Like he just came with the fire hydrant ready. Like yo, I'm bringing all the smoke.
And they dropped the fire. I put it out, man. That's it.
Whoo! That might be a new nickname, bro. The fire hydrant.
we gonna keep working on. I'm gonna go to 520. Okay, we gonna keep working on that.
Right?
You know, I'm gonna put a finger in the air too, but I'm just gonna save
Oh,
wow. Wow.
All eyes on me.
Put a finger in the air.
Okay.
Keep it G-rated by saying put 2 fingers in the air.
Oh, well, I could just be talking about pointing, you know.
Wow.
But in any case, let's move on. So, unfortunately, recently, there was a incident on the F train here in New York City, where a black male in his early 30s came on a train, who basically it seemed as he was having a mental episode where he was screaming about having nothing to eat or drink. The witnesses there from the incident have varying statements. Some saying they felt that they were not threatened physically. It was more of a nuisance, while others were saying that they were fearful of harm. Daniel Penny, former U.S. Marine, somehow ended up putting Jordan Neely into a chokehold, and that chokehold of what they say nearly 4 minutes ended up with Mr. Neely dying, and the Neely's death was ruled by New York Medical Examiner office as a homicide due to compression against his neck. The entire incident, well, let me not say the entire. Most of the incident was caught on camera. Not the very beginning, from where Mr. Neely was having a mental episode on the train. The 4-minute video that's been on social media starts and ends with U.S. Marine Daniel Penny having him in a chokehold on the ground. From that, you can see other people and bystanders basically holding Mr. Neely's hands to restrain him. In short, they were. It seems like the bystanders were happy that he was being restrained. So we can't speak to what happened beforehand, only from what the eyewitnesses say. But what was caught on video, you see a young male being held in the chokehold from behind, laying on the ground, basically fighting to get free and unable to do so, as Mr. Neely held him in the chokehold and another man was holding his hands to kind of pin him down. The New York City police say that they attempted CPR upon arrival to the F train, and Neely was later pronounced dead at the hospital. Currently, there have been no criminal charges filed against the U.S. Marine, and an outrage has sparked from it. It's also sparked a bigger conversation of mental health and homelessness. So there are the facts. My first thoughts when I think about this, right, is how if you see the video, it starts off with Jordan Neely being held on the ground and has a white male holding him in a chokehold from behind, and another male, which I believe he appeared to be black, holding his hands down as if they were both trying to restrain him, right? So whatever happened prior to that, right, Mr. Neely likely did something that made people very uncomfortable and possibly felt threatened, right? However, the biggest part of that is this: as a U.S. Marine, you are taught to fight and do more than one way to restrain somebody, right? There's grappling moves, there are simple pins. There's a lot of ways that you can restrain someone without choking them, right? And as a Marine, I'm sure he knows that, right? Within the 4 minutes that you were holding this person, and the fact that there was someone else that was available to help you pin him down, did it not occur that maybe, just maybe, I should do something else because I might kill this man by cutting off his supply of oxygen?
You know what's interesting is you brought that up. I'm glad you brought that up because there's actually now video surfacing that somebody warned him on the train. It was like, "Yo, you don't want to do this. You're cutting off his circulation, and if we see him defecate, that means it's too late." You know what I mean? So somebody was warning him while he was like, "Yo, let him go. You know, don't restrain him in that way," and he continued to do it.
Anyway,
if this is true, it's because for me, I haven't seen that video, but it's reports.
Yeah. I really don't know what to say. You know, it's. I'm gonna let y'all speak first. I've said enough.
Well, I mean, the only thing I can say is based on accounts, you know, watching current events like the news over the weekend, it seemed like there was a chance for peaceful protests in the beginning, and it all went to hell. Like within a matter of minutes. Like this was like live on the air. I think they were at it was in Manhattan somewhere. I just can't remember where. The protesters basically stopped the train. I think some of them got on the tracks and blocked the train from taking off. It got very, very messy, very, very fast. And all I can say is, in general, when people protest like this, the what people are saying, we the people, you know, are saying something's wrong. You might not be able to legally translate things. What they're saying is, okay, this guy did something questionable, but he didn't really harm anybody. He didn't punch nobody in the face. He didn't take nobody's pocketbook. And why is this person dead? So basically, that's what the protest is. That's what is being spoken with the way the protest is going. I'm not saying anybody out there is doing everything right.
Yeah.
But this is why it is important for people to have the right to protest, to kind of be disruptive without violence, in a sense, to basically say, hey, we got some questions about how and why this happened. I often hear people that go to church say, well, you know, as believers, we shouldn't, you shouldn't be involved in protests. You shouldn't focus on it. Just focus on the love of God, focus on following Christ. Listen, at some point, there has to be a cry of outrage. I don't care what color the person is. Listen, when I even saw African Americans in the news going around Chinatown punching Asians and beating up Asians, I even said it on my show. It's not right.
Right.
It's not right.
I don't care what color they are. It's not it's not about we only speaking up because it's black. It's somebody black that died. If it's wrong, it's wrong. And at the end of the day, if nobody can look at somebody's life and put a value on it, all the painting on the street that Black Lives Matter and all that, just rip the paint off the street because we don't get it. And I've been saying that. We don't get it if we can't come to terms that somebody else's life is valuable enough to let them live out their days as long as God has them on this green earth. That's just what I said.
So my 2 cents, man. For one, being that I lived in New York for 10 years, you see this type of behavior all the time. This is a daily thing. And what it shows to me, and I believe that Penny, Daniel Penny is from Staten Island, they say, possibly he don't ride the train very often, right? In order to feel threatened in this manner. There's a low level threat when you see people who are mentally uneasy on the train, and most of the time, most New Yorkers, we mind our business. You know what I mean? If it gets that bad, move to a different car. Go to a different car. Why? I've never seen somebody in my 10 years riding the subway on a daily basis seen somebody actually get into fisticuffs, let's call it that. You know what I mean? And wrestle with somebody in order to restrain them, to hold them for the cops. Maybe you push them off, when you get to the next station, if you're tired of it, you know what I mean. As a car, you guys kind of like decide you out of here, you know what I mean. But I've never seen nobody get have this amount of harm done to them because they were perceived to be a threat. As far as we know, that man ain't put his hands on nobody. He didn't do nothing to nobody, but yell and scream that he's tired, that he's hungry, and that he's ready to die. That's all that we know. And for him to be dead because of that. And normally when you ride the subway, you get to know the people who's on your line, who's homeless, who's performing. You know who's actually out here about to do something and who's not. You see them all the time. You know what I mean? And then for me, it's a little bit deeper because my cousin live out there right now. We don't know where he is, but we know he's in the subway system and living because he's mentally ill. And he ran off to the subway system. We have no idea where he is, but now this makes me think like, yo, something could happen to him just because somebody was afraid.
Understands him.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how many times, like Dylan says,
so...
I mean, how many times you ride on the train?
This is daily. This is daily.
I don't care if it's the E, the F, whatever line. How many times you on the train and these kids get on the train, start dancing, start flipping on the bars and all this crazy stuff. Nobody bothers them. Everybody says, you know what? Let them dance. Some people feel like giving them money. Some don't, but they leave the train alive.
Yeah. Yeah. And you see fights. I mean, you see fights on the train. You see, but for to me, it's like, yo, it speaks to something's not right. For y'all to be that afraid, something ain't right. Something ain't right. And it's like, yo, I don't understand why you that afraid. You know what I mean? And then there's also racial dynamics on trains as well. Because if we keeping it real, most New Yorkers that ride the train, I've said it to people and they were like, yo, you're right. They play a game trying to guess where people going to get off, right? And the white folk, you guessing where the white folks going to get off, you guessing where the black folks going to get off. And once you get past like 103rd, that pretty much is going to be all brown folks on that train. So there's a racial dynamic to it as well. I'm not saying that the dude was because they try to put that he's a white supremacist.
Wow.
What I don't. Why would we know that? You know what I mean? We basically didn't even know who he was at first, and now the first thing that they said was white supremacy. So now media try to hijack. You know what I mean? Just put out the facts of what we know. This is crazy though.
I think a lot of people are saying that because some of the things that he's saying since then was more like he was not remorseful as to what happened. And
I can see that.
If
he felt his life was in danger, he's not going to be remorseful. I think if I read the statement correctly, he's remorseful about the death, but not remorseful about his actions about jumping into action.
Right. Which in reality, if he did feel threatened, he wouldn't be remorseful. He felt as if he was doing what he needed to do to protect himself, which any man has the right to protect themselves, right? However, at some point when you realize, like you said, the new video surfaced where the woman was saying, all right, you're still choking him and his body's not moving, or something to that effect, right? At what point do you say, all right, I put him to sleep, let me just put his arms behind him and just hold him, not continue to choke him,
Yeah.
But
a chokehold don't take that long.
It don't take that long.
If you apply it right, 10 seconds and they out. 3 minutes, bro? No.
Right, 4 minutes. Yeah, something like that. 3-4 minutes. Like
it might take 60 to 90 seconds at the most to compromise the person to where they immobilize.
Have we not learned anything from the trial of Derek Chauvin? Have we not learned anything about that? What the knee was on his neck
for 9 minutes,
right? Or what's his name? in Staten Island that died a few years ago because of a police chokehold.
That Eric Garner?
Eric Garner, thank you.
Right.
You know, have we not learned anything from that? Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? It like you know, these moves are cool in wrestling, right? But even in MMA sports, when somebody is put into a chokehold, if they notice that the person collapses, the referees immediately break it up and they bring in paramedics. Immediately. And that's in professional fighting.
Sanction fights.
Sanction fights. You understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
So if you're putting someone in a chokehold, you are literally putting that person's life in danger immediately. Because if it's dangerous in sanction fights, it's even more dangerous in the real world.
Yeah.
You know, and again, one person and I you know, I saw the video a few times. It was 3 people. 3 people there. So if he's a trained Marine and there's still 2 other people, you telling me they couldn't have just pinned him on the ground? Maybe one hold his arms, one hold his feet. You know, like
this is what happens when people are afraid, though. You know, and to be honest, I mean, trial is I mean, I think there's a grand jury trial to see if they're even going to charge him.
Yeah.
Right? But even if it goes to that, it's a long way from now. But I heard that, and I didn't know this, that New York is a stand your ground state. So he
that I did not know.
Going to get off.
Wait, what?
I did not know. I did not know that New York is a stand your ground state. That's news to me.
That's exactly.
Absolute news.
And maybe this person was wrong in their information, but from what I saw, they said New York is a stand your ground state. We can verify it now. But also the response. You know what I mean? The fact that you killed somebody, and I want to give him the benefit of the doubt. I don't think he meant to kill that man, but you acted as a vigilante and you did end up killing somebody. You put your hands on somebody. When we teach our kids, don't keep your hands to yourself. Went to the cops and they released you same day. But they went and picked up Jonathan Majors, and I think this is the same area actually.
So I'm looking at this right now, and I just briefly Googled it. New York does not have a stand your ground law.
Okay.
And it says the state law explicitly imposes a duty to retreat before resorting to deadly force outside the home.
Okay. So bad information.
So essentially,
It's fine. Yeah.
So the way I'm reading this is, if I'm not in my own home and you attack me, then I have a duty to just leave. But if I'm in my own home, God bless you.
God help you.
God help you.
God help you. Yeah. Right.
So, which I can, that makes sense. Because if you come into my home and threaten me, okay, I'm not running out of my own home.
Right.
So Joe is stressing basically that there's a huge burden on the defense. Usually there's not a burden on the defense. But right. I would say in this case, based on that information, there's a huge burden on the defense
to leave.
That says, hey, you know what?
Right.
They're going to actually have to prove that it was self-defense, which is not normal. But in a case like this, they're going to have to actually kind of prove that it was self-defense for real. Otherwise, he's done.
I think it's going to be real hard to prove 3-on-1 is self-defense.
There you go.
Because the video clearly shows 3 people. Him holding the U.S. Marine holding him in the chokehold. Daniel Penny, holding him in a chokehold, and 2 other bystanders essentially holding his hands and arms. So that's going to be real hard to prove self-defense.
I wish it was that easy. I don't think so, to be honest.
You don't think
it should be cut and dry based upon what you just read, but depending on where they hold trial and the type of trial that it is, if this is a jury trial, to get 11 people who's from that area of the city, they might go a different way and side not side with him as in you should have killed him, and maybe he gets a lesser charge or something.
So what I've been seeing online in regards to this is there's been a lot of talk about, with the interpretation of the law, is this going to be another case where is it going to be fair for us, right? And when I say us, I mean African Americans and BIPOC people in general, right? Because they said it goes like this. They said it goes, if Asian American person gets killed, it's considered a hate crime. Jewish American person gets killed, considered a hate crime. African American person gets killed, let's not jump to conclusions. Which is like, wow. Like, let's see what the facts are first. Like, what? You know what I mean? Like, we're one of the few people where we also have to have life insurance and a lawyer to defend us in death.
That's crazy.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, you need to include a lawyer in your will to defend yourself if you get killed.
Yeah, you think Biden gonna make an executive order for black folks protecting us?
How? What would that executive order look like? Would they make? What do you mean? Would he make it
the same way you
hate
talk
crime?
about the Asian hate crime? What's up?
Oh, I see what he's saying.
No,
what's up? We gonna get that?
No.
He wants your vote though. You better do something.
I mean, he wants the majority of votes. Let's be clear.
Yes.
Let's be clear.
We talking to black folks, yeah. We're talking to black folks only right now.
Right, but yes, I mean, of all the things that they tried to do, don't get me wrong. I think Biden is doing some things to help, but again, with the way the system, let's just call it the system, is set up, it's really difficult to get things done, especially when you have two parties that, just because of the nature of government, if I believe the sky is blue, then if you're on the opposite side of the table, you have to say it's red, just because I said it's blue, right? Even if I don't really believe it's red, and I know that it's not red, but because you say it's blue, I, being a opposite side of the table, have to stand against you for a number of reasons. And when you have opposition like that, just for the sake of opposition, not even for the sake of actually getting things done, it makes the process slow, and it makes it really hard for a person to impact the country in 4 years, right? Because a lot of these things that happen are decades and centuries long worth of issues that you have to address in 4 years. And if you're decent enough, then you might get another 4 years, right? How much can you really affect? You can affect some things. You can affect, when it comes to the economy, you can do a few things here and there to adjust it. But by the time the laws that you put in place and the things that you put in place actually take effect, it's time for somebody else to come in. Classic example is when we had, and we'll go to music after this because I know this can be a whole different tangent, right? But 2008 to 2012, right? We had the economic crash of the mortgage crisis, where we saw major banks go under. So this is the time we get our first black president, right? The banks went under. We have car industries getting bailouts, all kinds of things going on, right? So we elect our first and only black president, right? A lot of people feel like part of that is they wanted to blame a black person for what was going on. But in reality, all of those problems were issues from things that happened in the previous administration. But when it comes to economics, people think economics, if I make a decision today, it affects what's going to happen the same week or the same month. It doesn't work that way. Economics takes time for things to transition, right? It's almost like having a baby. It takes 9 months for a baby to be conceived and to actually come out of the mother's womb. It's the same thing in economics and finance, where if I make a plan today, it's going to take 6 months, a year before it actually really sees some difference. And even longer when you're talking on the scale of the entire United States or the global economy, right? So the nation crashed. That first 4 years was all about bringing us out of the recession, which he did that. He continued that train, and by the time his policies took force and really started to ramp up different things in 2016 at the end of his term, here come Trump now taking all the credit. And here we are again after Trump's 4 years, and what do we have?
So not to belabor the point, but the Asian hate crime bill, that was an executive order, I think. That was signed and put into place immediately. First 100 days, I believe, of Biden being in office. The COVID stuff, or I shouldn't say that, right? We're going to get demonetized. But, all the jab stuff. That
we ain't
was
monetized, no way.
Hey, they don't know that. They don't know that. You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like, look, if Biden really wanted to take action, he could. He has power. And has, in a mini way, kind of like declared war on Russia, with sending all this money over to Ukraine and ammo, all of that type of stuff. So, listen, he's not defenseless. I know it's a bipartisanship, but he's not defenseless. And if he wants to, just like the thing with the canceling student debt. He had plenty of time to do that. He dragged his feet and blamed it on, I think it was a Republican or somebody that he had to hand it off to. So to me,
checks
a whole
and
lot of
balances.
nothing. It's a whole lot of nothing.
There's checks and balances.
Yeah, but he has executive orders and bills that he can put in place without anybody else. But he ain't gonna do it.
I hear you. Listen, let's get into some music. When we come back, we can continue this conversation. But we also need to jump into another conversation about famous lawyer and television host Eboni K Williams, who says average men just aren't good enough. All right, y'all know what it is. Stay tuned. Stay blessed.
Gotta keep it real, yeah, I gotta keep it 100. When you getting tempted with that lust, you better run from it. When you getting tempted with that lust, you better run. Yeah, little bro, you better run. When you getting tempted with that lust, you better run. Please don't fight it, bro, just run. Please don't fight it, bro, just run. When you getting tempted with that lust, you better run. I done it so much, I wish I never did it. Came to the throne for forgiveness, but sometimes, man, I thought I wouldn't get it. But the truth is my sins are forgiven. It ain't easy, I promise you it isn't. He ain't gonna stop working on you until it's finished. Man, I understand the struggle cause I lived it. Man, I understand the struggle cause I lived it. You better run from that lust, bro, I'm telling you it's urgent. Yeah, I'ma keep telling you the truth, I don't care if you heard it. And I know it feels good, but trust me, it ain't worth it. Yeah, you gotta crucify the flesh, boy, you gotta put the work in. He took all my sins away, I know he forgave me. He gave me a new heart, yeah, he really changed me. Even if they chase me, I ain't chasing ladies. I was really stuck up in that lust until he saved me. Jesus said, if you love me, then obey me. Fight the flesh like you fighting for the Navy. Jesus said, if you love me, then obey me. Jesus said, if you love me, then obey me. I was living in my sin, but I had to reroute. Now I'ma live for Christ until this body bleed out. I let God in my heart, now it's getting cleaned out. The devil tryna get me back, I tell him keep out. I was really stuck up in that lust, I was lusting. I was a slave to my sin, but I'm free now. I was really stuck up in that lust, I was lusting. I was a slave to my sin, but I'm free now. I was stuck up in my ways, never thought that I could change. I've been saved by his grace, yeah, I'm really free now. I got caught up in the streets, then I started smoking weed. I was searching for peace, but I got peace now. There's people out here dying, man, how could I stay quiet? Boy, I can't hide it, I gotta speak out. When I'm going through these struggles, man, I cry out to God. I put my hands up and my knees down. Took all my sins away, I know he forgave me. He gave me a new heart, yeah, he really changed me. Even if they chase me, I ain't chasing ladies. I was really stuck up in that lust until he saved me. Jesus said, if you love me, then obey me. Fight the flesh like you fighting for the Navy. Jesus said, if you love me, then obey me. Jesus said, if you love me, then obey me. I gotta keep it real, yeah, I gotta keep it 100. When you getting tempted with that lust, you better run from it. When you getting tempted with that lust, you better run. Yeah, yeah, little bro, you better run. When you getting tempted with that lust, you better run. Please don't fight it, bro, just run. Please don't fight it, bro, just run. When you getting tempted with that lust, you better run. When you getting tempted with that lust, you better run. Please don't fight it, bro, just run. Please don't fight it, bro, just run.
May there be peace and love and perfection.
The meek shall inherit the earth. The meek shall inherit the earth.
Yeah, save me, Heavenly Father. School of Hard Knocks is my alma mater. Raised without a pop, but when I got popped, it was a high caliber. As if my childhood wasn't wild enough. Forced into a lifestyle of trauma. Heard the screaming from demons fighting my mama. Then the smell of marijuana. The block wasn't Wakanda, the atmosphere was demonic. I sat in fear, fully conscious, trying to process all this violence. Started making a god out of my talent. Now this talent gonna deliver me from misery, I promise. But that promise wasn't honest, that was capped, that was my problem. My vision was impaired, no wisdom, I needed guidance in asylum. Needed to learn humility even in private. And circumcise my heart because I'm dangerous without it. Don't feel sad for the lost sheep, he ain't done with us. One thing about America, it humbled us. Yeah.
The meek shall inherit the earth. The meek shall inherit the earth. Humble and meek, something that we cannot be if we gon' keep on running the street. Running the street.
Yeah, blessed Almighty, Father and friend of Abraham. When I'm lost, your spirit show me the way again. Drawing water for us from a rock in the valley. Paper used to flow from selling rock in the alley. I had to shake familiar spirits trying to be around me. Trying to regain the zeal I had when you first found me. Marine spirits in my dream trying to come and drown me. Squaring up in the spirit when drama all around me. Want me back paranoid, fearing to go to county. Enduring temptation, cause when it's done you crown me. People don't know my struggle, they don't know how I feel. Don't know the trauma that come with being someone they trying to kill. Finding comfort in the fact that I know that I'm sealed. Seeing the fruit all in my life, that's how I know it's real. Dealing with repressed anger is how we rebuild. Being delivered from fallen spirits is time to heal.
The meek shall inherit the earth. The meek shall inherit the earth. Humble and meek, something that we cannot be if we gon' keep on running the street. Running the street. Humble and meek, something that we cannot be if we gon' keep on running the street. Wickedness ran in my family tree till it ran into me. Ran into me.
Man, y'all know what it is. Rise Up Worldwide. Listen, we are officially in the second hour. We've been in the second hour, but we had to drop some dope music for y'all, man. LNF, what was the name of those songs, man? Like, it was some really, really dope joints.
MTM Isaiah was the first track. That's I guess the company is called Testify His Love. So he did a performance with them, and then Meek by Eshon Burgundy.
Nice,
the legend.
Nice. You said allegedly or the legend?
The legend.
Okay. okay.
I still regard him as a legend.
Oh,
he is. Listen, he is.
If you said allegedly, I'm like, what was that? A Chat GPT video or something?
Listen, man.
Look like him. Sound like him.
He in Africa. We can't say one way or the other.
Man.
You know what I mean?
Man, that's what's up, though. That's what's up. So listen, before we jump into this conversation about Eboni K Williams, I do have to let it be known that as of at this moment, the Philadelphia 76ers just smashed Boston in Boston and have now taken a series lead of 3-2. And listen, I'm not a Philly fan. However, I will admit that I do like Joel Embiid because he's just, I like his attitude. He's not afraid to talk trash when he needs to. He's like, I don't know. He's like, to me, he's the best big man in the league right now. He did win MVP for the season.
Thanks.
And listen, he's doing his thing. So the while we were playing music videos in the chat, everyone, we were having a discussion, and Mr. C had some key things to say. My opinion, I think the finals. I think this is the year that Philly could do it. I do. I think they're going to win the series with Boston.
Heavy narcotics.
I don't think that Miami or New York has what it takes to get past Philly. I think they can do it.
Oh no!
I'd agree with.
If everyone is healthy, I think they can do it. The only thing that would hold them back, honestly, would be injuries. But if everyone's healthy, and James Harden, one of the best one-on-one players in the game, if he can contribute 25 a game, Joel Embiid is going to give you 20 something and 10 boards. They're going to be hard to stop because they got role players that are doing their thing.
Name me another player on that team.
Tyrese Maxey.
Okay, name me a fourth player.
I'm not a fan of Philly, so I'm not gonna go down the roster because I don't know all the players.
If there's one player I'm rooting for in Philly because he's a Long Island product, it's Tobias Harris. It's the only person I would root for right now as a player.
I couldn't think of his name, but I was called the light skinned dude from Philly.
Yep. He's the only player I would root for right now.
Right, and he's a beast.
Oh, he can play. He's solid. He's solid.
Word. So
he don't fit there.
He don't fit. Like his personality.
He don't fit. No, not personality. His game. He was better in Milwaukee. He was better actually before James Harden got there. His numbers was great.
Yeah, because they utilize. I mean, naturally they're going to utilize someone like James Harden, who's a tier one star in the league, right? And basically a supermax player. They're not going to go through Tobias Harris,
who's not a supermax.
He's not a supermax player.
No,
right? But
it's not because he's not good enough. He's just not a supermax player.
Listen, James Harden's going to be the reason why they don't go to the next round.
Ooh.
He couldn't do it in Houston. He couldn't do it in OKC.
Oh wow!
Listen,
he couldn't do it in Brooklyn. Keep on with
Brooklyn. Oh, I forgot about Brooklyn. It wasn't even relevant.
OKC, he was the sixth man. And Brooklyn, listen, he was doing his thing in Brooklyn, but Brooklyn was chaotic. And honestly, I blame Kyrie for that. I think if we'd have traded Kyrie early and got like another player, I think James Harden and Kevin Durant could have really made some noise, and with a solid third player, right?
Bro, those are the three, or now there's a fourth, but those are the three mentally weakest players in the league as far as And now the fourth is Jason Tatum. He showed that last year.
Wow.
He can't lead either.
Did you really call Kevin Durant weak, bro?
He is mentally weak.
Wow.
He started fake Twitter profiles to defend himself on Twitter. If that's not mentally weak, like I don't know what that is.
No, listen,
family owned too, bro.
Wow.
You don't remember that? He started fake profiles.
I didn't know that. I didn't know.
I remember that. I remember he had.
Come on.
Yeah, listen.
Bigging himself
a lot of celebrities have two profiles.
No,
they have the profile for everybody else, and then they have the profile for only
I would
family.
too. To actually just to surf the web or whatever. You know what I mean?
Right.
I would too, but going and defending yourself. Like going on your own page under the comments and being like, "Nah, he nice, man." Brother.
No, I don't think he did that. That's not what it was.
Listen, Lawson found
that's what he did, brother.
Lawson found that curates records with superstars like Aaron Cole. You know he got like 10 profiles. You know what I'm saying? he got the straight street profile. I know.
I'll be watching, just like they watching me. I know who's watching me.
Okay.
I saw the stats.
Okay, so let me ask you this. So do you think that Denver is going to beat Phoenix? Because that series is tied.
Yeah, I said last week. I think Denver is going to win it all.
You think Denver's going to win it all?
I think this is their year.
I think Phoenix is going to find a way to get past Denver, and then it's over for them next round. It's over for them.
Yeah,
Chris Paul is out tonight. Or the next.
He was out the last game.
He was out the last game.
See, I ain't even watching, but I don't see it. I don't see it happening, man. I think Jokic is just his year. Maybe Bron becomes Superman again, and leads this Laker team. But other than that,
I think the Lakers are going to the finals for sure.
I'm going to say right now the way they're playing, I agree with you.
I think the Lakers are going to go to the finals. Right. I don't know if they're going to win it, but I do see them going. And I think it's going to be LA versus Philly. That's my prediction.
And I would love to see Embiid cry again. I would love to see it.
Word. Yeah. That was wonderful.
Sorry, Tobias.
Wow.
Sorry, but
it was wonderful.
Ooh, y'all got hate in y'all blood.
No.
Yo,
come on now.
I hit him with that.
Yeah, but to say I want to see a man cry. Ooh,
listen, man, if you a New Yorker, listen.
I don't gotta like him.
See, Joe Boss, maybe it's because you're not a native New Yorker.
Okay.
Maybe that's what it is. You cannot be a native New Yorker and like Philly and Boston. It just doesn't work.
I don't like either team. Let me be clear about this.
That's like
I don't root for Philly.
That's like
I'm not a Philly fan. I'm just saying, watching them play ball,
right?
I do believe they have the best chance of doing it this year. I never said I'm rooting for Philly. I know living here in New York, you do not root for Philly, and you for dang sure don't root for Boston.
You know what's funny? I remember I'm a huge North Carolina Tar Heel fan, and I actually met somebody once that said this. I'm like, who do you like? I like North Carolina and Duke. I'm like, that's impossible. It's not possible. You have to choose one. Listen, you can't be a Carolina fan and a Duke fan. It's not going to work.
Listen, I lived in here in New York 21 years now.
Well,
and I get flack for being a Nets fan, but I'm still going to rep them.
No, man,
they're New Jersey, that's why.
They're Brooklyn. They're Brooklyn now.
But they Jersey, bro.
Listen, stop it, LNL.
They're not in New Jersey. They haven't been in Jersey.
They were at their best when they were in New Jersey.
Oh, wow. This guy. Oh, okay.
They have not been in Jersey for a solid decade.
Coming from a Knicks fan or a fan of a team who hasn't gotten a certain place in over 20 years.
Right.
Listen.
Remember, the Nets got to the finals more recently than the Knicks.
They sure did. They went to the Eastern Conference Finals, and they lost. And they lost because James Harden was hurt and Kyrie was hurt. They lost, and that's because two of the three superstars were hurt, and Kevin Durant was trying to carry him by himself. And that's the year Milwaukee won.
Right. And I'm even going back to the other teams with Jason Kidd. I'm going back to the teams with Richard Jefferson. Those are teams that got to the finals.
Right, but
he made it to the finals with Kerry Kittles, like Rick Van Horn. Like
you actually, Kerry Kittles didn't ball. Well, what?
He was. I mean, if you ask me, he was a Catino Mobley. He cool. He can get 17, but he's not an all-star.
I mean, listen. Most of the time in an NBA team, you might get 2 all-stars and you'll get some great role players.
Jason Kidd had some trash on them teams, bro.
He had.
Chris Jefferson couldn't even shoot yet.
Okay, you know what? I give you that. Granted, I give you that one. I give you that.
That's trash.
That's fair.
Team.
That's fair. All he could do is dunk. All he could do is dunk.
Right.
And that's about it.
That's true. And lock you down defensively.
He was a decent defender. He was decent.
He was one of the best defenders in the league at that time. Are y'all crazy?
As a rookie?
He came in as a solid defender. He came in that way. He was always a solid defender. That's why they got him. They didn't need him to score because they had Vince Carter and they had Jason Kidd.
Oh Lord, he didn't even get to that. Vince wasn't there yet. When we talked about the finals, he wasn't even there yet.
He didn't get to the finals. No. Vince wasn't on those teams.
He was in Toronto, my guy.
I can remember.
Okay.
Listen, Rise Up family, don't listen to this man. This is the same man who said he said. I went back and listened. He said Brooklyn gonna make it to the finals. When KD got traded, we made a whole video about that, or a whole show about that. We said they was gonna win chips. What did they do? And who was your boy who said, nah? I even said Kyrie's gonna kill the team. Listen, y'all can choose sides. Choose who you want.
I mean, I'm gonna give credit to the Nets though. At least the Nets held serve and made the playoffs.
You don't listen to Joe Bowser or TJ Skip Bayless.
Mikal Bridges came in. He was solid.
He's dope.
I thought Cam Johnson was gonna be more of a consistent scorer, but it just didn't pan out that way. At least not now. But
the Nets are at a position they have a good opportunity to rebuild. They have nice pieces to rebuild with.
Yep.
And because of who they have in Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson, they can rebuild quickly because actually Mikal Bridges is a player you can keep. Cam Johnson, not so much. But in the meantime, if they get a third piece that can do something, they can have a solid team, right?
Who wants to play in Brooklyn?
Say it again.
Who wants to play in Brooklyn?
Listen, for the right money, a lot of places. For the right money, a lot of people will play. No, listen. Who said live in Brooklyn? Hell, I bet you none of them lived in Brooklyn.
Nobody want to play for the Nets, bro.
Nah, that's nah.
Y'all not getting nobody.
Yeah, you bugging.
Y'all not getting nobody.
Listen, I know a lot of people want to play for the Cleveland Cavaliers.
DJ Lost and Found.
I know a lot of people want to play for the Cleveland Cavaliers.
And his mind ain't working today.
I know a lot of people want to play for the Cleveland Cavaliers, and where did that get them? Bounced.
That's true.
Listen. LNF, can you just play us one quick video and then let's get back into this conversation with Eboni K Williams.
Yes, sir.
All right. Greetings, family. My name is Joe Scott, and I am the senior financial professional here at the Rise Up Financial Agency, where we make insurance personal by providing an elevated level of support for future-proof living. It's 2023, and it's time to make this your best year financially. We would love to sit down with you and have a financial review where we go over all of your life situations. Did you recently start a new job and need to roll over your retirement plan? Or did you start a new business? Did your family increase in size with the birth of a child? Or, on the other hand, did someone pass away? What about a teen that's going to college for the first time? Or you just graduated college and you're about to start your first job? Either way you look at it, all of these are reasons for us to sit down and review. All right? Let's sit down in person or set up a virtual meeting so that we can review all of your information and make sure that we put you in the best position to have the best financial year you've ever had. All right? Again, you can contact me here at riseupfinancialagency.com, on social media at Rise Up Financial Agency, or you can scan the QR code here right to my left. I will speak with you soon. Let's make the best year ever. Rise Up Worldwide, y'all know what it is, man. Listen, we just had a great conversation and debate talking about the NBA playoffs. Clearly, we don't agree on any of this, but that's okay. That's okay, because when Philly wins, I'm still not gonna root for them, but I'm gonna bring this exact conversation up, episode 306. And plus, if they lose, then I know y'all gonna do the same.
Let's go to the videotape.
So listen, let's talk about Eboni K Williams. I was able to actually get the video together. Do you mind if I play the video so everyone can have just a little bit of context?
You think?
Wait, where'd it go? I just had it. You know what? Let's do it this way. Share button. Wait, I'm doing something wrong. Hold on a second. Oh, there we go. All right, so let's play this real quick. Now, this conversation is Eboni K Williams. This is a short of her talking to Iyanla Vanzant about the dating pool and black men.
I know that you've said that you cannot teach a man or tell a man how to be a man. So I will not ask you to indict men in this question. But I do want you to speak, Iyanla, to how women need to, position ourselves so that we can be in our divinity, so we can have our crowns right, how we can create and not build, when some of us, quite frankly, feel that the men that are available to us, and I'm talking about across the color spectrum, across the age spectrum, trust me, I've done them all, they are not positioned to protect nor provide because of some of the statistics we just talked about. They're not earning the incomes. They're not having the resources, and some of them are not even showing up in the leadership.
Would you date a bus driver? Would you date
if
a bus
he owns
driver?
the bus? If he owns it. If he owns the bus.
See, that's a problem. That's a problem. That's a problem. Because the standards and requisites, and I'm not talking about him laying on his sofa playing video games all day. I'm not talking about that. But the standards and the criteria that we use to measure men is off for who we are as women and who they are in this society. I would date a bus driver if he loved driving the bus, if he was a man of integrity, if he was good to his mama, if he treated me well, I would date a bus.
Yeah. All right, let me close this out. There we go. Hold on, let me.
Kevin Samuels was right.
Tell me how y'all feel about it. I zoomed in because I needed to see the facial expressions, and I needed to see where y'all were at.
We are living in a very dangerous time in the present day.
Okay.
Some things I will not go into on record. Shall I say on this live stream? But we're living in a very dangerous time because decent men who are not millionaires are getting passed up. I'll be honest with you. Kevin Samuels is right about a lot of stuff. R.I.P. He's right about a lot of stuff. I'll say this. I'll even say this. This much, without going into a lot of details. I've seen the game in corporate America where, and I'm not saying women are not qualified, but women are put in certain places, and it's a very dangerous trap. Because, and I wasn't going to say it, but I am going to say it. Women are put in certain places in corporate America, and then they're looking at the man like, "What you got? You ain't got nothing," because the men are not getting promoted to those places. Women are getting promoted to those places a lot more rapidly these days. Men are now like, say, a woman, more women. There are more women directors, more women VPs and SVPs now more than ever. But what happens is a lot of men are like at an analyst level, rep level, maybe a supervisor, right? That right there causes a clash in the household because now the woman, or even like on a dating scene, what you got? I make 40,000 more than you. I drive 2 more cars than you. So this leads to these kinds of issues on a regular basis, and you're gonna have a lot of ladies out there. They're gonna be in a very tough spot because now they're gonna be chasing dudes that's making $1 million, $2 million a year, and that's gonna be let's just put it like this: a lot of the problems that Kevin Samuels talks about with men that's making the millions with the infidel. Now the woman's put in a place where she don't want to be because she wants that loyal man, and the man that she's chasing ain't gonna be loyal. It's a real conversation. It's true.
It is biblical. Just piggybacking off of that, you see in Revelation where it's 7 women to 1 man. How is that possible? Because he has the finances to do so. So I think that this is the way that we're headed, right? And unfortunately, I won't say that this is all women because I have one. My wife is a scientist. She makes more than me, right? However, there has never been a time in our marriage, and sometimes I've made more, sometimes she makes more, but right now she makes more. And there's never been a time in my marriage where that has been an issue because I'm the man of the house. Everything's still running through me as far as being the head of the household. So it depends on who you got, the type of woman you got. The woman that I had right before Rayshonda, we had issues because I made 20,000, she made 40. She had a car. I think I didn't have a car at the moment, and it was issues in the relationship, and we couldn't even get past a couple months because everything was about money. Everything's about money, and unfortunately, I haven't seen maybe 6 months ago on Facebook, she's still single. And what did Kevin Samuels say? Buy a dog, die alone. I'm not saying I hope she die alone, but she got the dog already.
Ooh. Man.
It's a serious issue.
So I just want to address the actual video, right? So again, Eboni K Williams, for those of you that don't know her, she is a successful lawyer and a television show host, right? It obviously with those 2 credentials, right? She's in the upper echelon, right? She's part of the 1%. Let's just call it what it is, right? Her income level, if the fact that she's a television host, I would assume that she's a millionaire, right? Don't know what she makes or what have you, but you can easily just assume that that's kind of where she's at, right? With that in mind, just from this video, you can tell that her thought process is that she's looking. A lot of people get into this thing where I have to have somebody that's equal to me, right? That's on my level. And to be honest with you, you can get that, but especially as minorities and African Americans in general, chances are they're not going to look like you.
Real quick. Are people saying that or are women saying that?
No, not saying that. I'm saying statistically, period.
Because I don't think men go out there looking for somebody who's on their level.
So it's that, and that's I was going to get into that. Right? Because if it's a woman that makes, let's say, $1 million, right? She wants a man to also make $1 million, right? Or more. And I'm not saying every woman is like this, but a lot of women are. But if it's a case of a man making $1 million, I'm looking for a woman to make $1 million. It's just looking for a woman that can do things for the house, that can take care of the house, that can raise children, have some value and respect for herself, things like that. But a lot of times it's not reciprocated.
But see, that's where the conversation gets kind of great, because this in this era that we're living in, the woman is basically saying, I want to get the education too. I want to make the 6 figures too. I want to have my own businesses too. I want to, explore, my aspirations too. If the man can do it, I can do it. I don't want to stay home and cook, clean, wash, take care of the kids, raise a family. I don't want to do that. That's basically where we're at, and that's why there's a clash, and where in
which
society,
they don't.
There's odds.
Nobody says they have to,
Mhm.
right? But it's a standard that's almost impossible to meet. For every successful woman, you want a man that looks like you, that's equally successful or more. Which is like, So you're not looking for things like integrity. You're not looking for things like, does he respect you? Does he value you, your time, your family, your body? You're not looking for that. You're just looking for a wallet. But you got to remember, if that's what you're looking for, a lot of men that are in that upper echelon usually lack other qualities, like faithfulness. Let's be honest, men in that category usually to have more than one woman. So do you want to be do you want to have a husband by committee? Or, do you want one husband? Those are things that you have to think about. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't aspire to be better. Absolutely should. I'm all the time. Like you said, LNF, your wife does better than you. My wife does better than me. Right? But that doesn't absolve me of trying to better myself. That doesn't absolve me of trying to, get to the next level. I'm not absolved of that at all. I still have to be there for her. I still have to respect her. I still have to do my things as a husband, right? And throughout our relationship, there's been times where I made more, and there's been times where she makes more. Right now is one of those times where she makes more. In fact, she's super successful in her field, right? Congratulations to her. She just became vice president in her field of HR. Right? If anybody knows anything about HR, that's a very high level, upper echelon. So she's doing well, and I'm super proud of her. Whereas my field, I'm an entrepreneur. I just started as an entrepreneur 2 years ago. We're not in the same category yet. But the point is that we work because we love each other, we respect each other, we're building with each other, and that's how that should work, because we are looking at the inner values more so than the outer. And that's how our relationship's supposed to build.
Right.
That's how a relationship's supposed to build. But what this woman, Eboni Williams, said, she basically said that average men aren't good enough for her. Like she's not dating someone who's a bus driver, even though, let's be honest, in New York City, bus drivers do very well, right? But the point that I'm making is that she came off very shallow, right? And Ayanla checked it. Like, hold on, like, you want somebody to make a lot of money, but those are not the qualities that you should be looking for. You know what I mean? Like integrity.
I wouldn't say that.
That's what Ayanla said. Like you're looking for a high income earner more so than you're looking for someone that is a actual good husband.
But
right.
But what are the things that are important to women? You know what I mean? One of the main things is security.
Right.
So that comes with an income, and at the bracket, that level that she's at, she's looking for a certain amount of security.
Right. But if the thing about that though, she's already at that bracket, she's got the security.
No,
she
needs somebody who is up there with her. Like,
Right, but
because there is a could be another host of issues. Just because it works for me and my wife, where she make more. There are other marriages that fail because of that, because the male feels emasculated. So that could be an issue that happens as well if the dude makes less.
That can't happen. You're right. You can't lead and be a husband if your wife doesn't follow. Right? You can't, and that counts for marriages. That counts in business. You cannot lead if you cannot lead somebody who's not willing to follow. Right? It just doesn't work. Even Jesus said to his followers, they was like, "Who do they say I am?" And then it was like, "Oh, there's some say you're John reincarnated and this, that, and the third." And then he said, "Who do you say I am?" Right? And a lot of interpretations of that text is saying, "Are you acknowledging who I am in your life?" And that was Jesus talking to his disciples. And the same way that men and women are to love each other, women are to be submitted to their husbands, husbands are to love their wives as Christ loved the church, right? That relationship has to follow in that way. You have to be a person that's doing the things of a leader, taking responsibility, right? And that's the biggest thing, is taking responsibility, right? And then the second part of that is the other side has to be submissive to that, and not to the point. That's like a curse word nowadays when you say submissive or submission. That's like a curse word, but it's not being a slave to anybody. It's just saying, I'm going to follow your leadership. I'm going to trust in your leadership, right? And that's like a contract. If I'm going to trust in your leadership, okay, you got to prove you're a leader. If I'm going to lead, you got to show me that you're willing to follow my lead, right? So it can go both ways. So, but back to Eboni, right? She that whole statement was extremely shallow, right? Mm-hmm. And social media fried her. They fried her. Then she went on to the Breakfast Club and doubled down, saying, "Listen, she's like, I'm not saying that average man such and such and such, but we can't accept for men to just do the bare minimum. They got to step up and do this, that, and the third."
Well, she was talking about black folks
in general,
not just men. We got to be fair with what she said.
Right, but I mean, it was geared towards men because she's a woman talking about the dating pool.
Well, no, she was talking in the Breakfast Club. Her cleaning it up was talking about black folks in general.
Yes.
How we should be going for more than average jobs and more than average positions. And according to her, she was saying also, it's not that the person is average, but it's an average type of job. It doesn't take a special, unique skill set to do it, which I ain't gonna lie, I agree. What I do is average. It don't take a special skill set. I don't think any of us take a special skill set. Otherwise, we'd be, $500K and up. You know what I mean? Be an attorney. That's a special skill set. You got to go to school for that. 8 years. You know what I mean? So I give her some slack because I understand if that's what you want, then that's what you want. I mean, like on the other hand, most of us dudes wouldn't. If you're not attracted to a girl, you gonna still talk to her? You gonna marry her because she got a great personality? Most of us would be like, nah. So is that shallow? I don't think it's shallow. It's just what you want. If that's what you want and what she's attracted to,
technically, you say that, but isn't that is shallow though? Like she could look great but have a terrible personality, or be a terrible person, but she looks great. That is shallow if that's all you're looking for, right?
Yeah, obviously. But what we're saying is importance. That's very important to her. What I'm saying is the opposite. You didn't answer my question. Would you marry a woman who you wasn't attracted to?
Realistically, no.
And she's saying, I'm not marrying a man where that's respect and sex is paramount for us. For women, for most women, security is number one. So if you can't provide that security, and then she's at a level where she making enough money to where she can provide for herself, what security are you providing if you making 40, 30,000? So I don't agree with her, but I see her point of view, and I say, listen, then don't be with her. You dodging the bullet. Because if people don't remember, in the beginning of the pandemic, she left her fiance because he chose to go be with his kids over her.
Good for him.
And that's back when we didn't know what was going on. And she was like, you didn't put me first. So yeah, exactly. Good for him. I'll be
Good for
like,
him.
Peace
out.
She has what she wants. Cool. Somebody out there will match it. Don't know who.
She and that's why she's single. She's successful and single.
That's why she's single.
Yeah, you understand what I'm saying? Like, she's super successful and single.
Yeah.
Because that line of thinking will lead you to be unhappy, and it will lead you to being shallow, and it will lead you to be by yourself. Like you said it at the beginning. What was his name? The guy that passed away, Kevin Samuels.
Yeah.
Buy a dog and die alone.
Listen, but there is an alternative option. You know, find somebody who's quote unquote average, like most of us is, who's a good person, like Ayala was saying, and
that's the point that I was making.
Yeah,
right.
But that's not what she wants.
Right.
Okay. Or that's not as I don't want to say that's not what she wants. That's not as important as that.
Right. And this is why. And the point that I'm making is exactly because of her lack of character. Let's just call that what it is, or her character flaw. Right. This is why she's in the position she's in. Highly successful and single, which in reality she should not be. She's a lawyer and a television host, right? She is attractive. She has everything going for her, but yet and still
she's a lawyer and a television host, which means she ain't got much time for nobody. That's not a plus.
I mean, what I'm saying, yes, but at the same time, if she could be with somebody on that level, they're probably busy too, right? For example, two people who are busy can make it work, but if one person's busy and the other person has a lot of free time, it generally don't work, because the person with a lot of free time is always going to feel like their time isn't valued, or they're always going to feel like, why can't you spend time with me? But two people who are busy and who manage it correctly, let's obviously, that's a caveat. If you manage it correctly, you understand, and there's a lot more grace for the lack of time. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're traveling a lot because of business and I'm traveling a lot because of business, there's an understanding there that business got to handle. You have your business thing, I have my business thing. But if we're not intentional about making the time that we have together, then of course there's going to be issues.
And even from a young people standpoint, my son is 15. When I was 15, I mean, let's be honest, I like girls at 15. I wasn't really like, say, going out on dates with girls. Cause I played high school basketball, and when you have commitments and with athletics, you really can't date them like that. But I think we're in a different time where girls are going to have to compete more for the attention of boys now more than ever, because the boys, the mindset of boys now, they're locked into, like, my son was just talking to me before the show, like, Dad, he's laying in bed. I'm like, what's good, son? He's like, yo, I'm thinking about what I want to do with my life. Like, he's 15. You understand what I'm saying? More young men they're on a different wavelength now.
Yeah.
So I've been having conversations with my wife and even other female friends about it. I'm like, it's going to be harder for women in this generation. Much harder. They think it's going to be, oh yeah, I look fine, and they're just going to come at me. It's not like that. It's not like that now. It's way different.
It's
different wavelength.
it's extremes to that too.
Yeah.
Because on one extreme you got the really attractive women who just bear it all over the internet, and there's gonna be men who want that type of woman, right? And then you have the women who are, conservative, attractive, but because they don't bear it all, they're gonna feel like less than, because they're gonna see they're gonna be a lot of people who want the one who bears it all. But with maturity, you learn that that's not the one you really want.
Right. and I'm not even talking about what you're talking about, like that. That's anyway. What I'm trying to say, I'm not talking about that extreme side where they bearing it all. What I'm saying is, let's just say the conservative girl is playing high post now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Back in my time, we're gonna be like, yo, we're gonna have to work a little bit. You know what the young men in today's time doing? Oh, you wanna play high post? Later for you, and on to the next thing.
On to the next.
Academics, and they're gonna handle their business. They might not even necessarily go chase another chick. I'm looking at my son's mindset, and I'm like, this is crazy right now. It's just different. That's all I can say. Different.
I seen a post the other day. Somebody posted. They said, you better let the dog chase you before I do.
Man, listen.
It was like, wow. And you know what? That's almost where it's at right now. It's like,
I'm you.
That's where it's at. It's like you said. What the numbers don't add up. What'd you say, LNF? Seven wives to one man.
Seven women to one man.
Yes.
As far as ratio.
And it's starting to become a norm. Like, there's literally accounts all over social media that are trying to normalize polygamy. There's literally lots of accounts. And I'm like, whoa.
I mean, it's normal, depending on where you are.
Right.
I mean,
us in the US is not normal, but other parts of the world is very normal.
Unless you live in a state that Utah that's basically big on the Mormon religion.
Didn't you tell me you was moving there, Mr. C?
No,
wow.
a friend.
Shut up. Wow.
Yo, I hope somebody near and dear to me is not watching this. Like, wait, we gotta talk about something when I get home.
Talk about this. Listen.
Woo!
Listen, I tell you like this. It's those men out there trying to have multiple wives, God bless you. One woman is hard enough.
Mm-hmm.
Not trying to balance for 3 or 4. Nah. Good on that.
Mm-hmm.
Good on that. So on that note, listen, this has been a great episode, fellas.
Yep.
I really appreciate everybody that locked in with us. Shout to everybody that's on the check-in. Big shout to my man Jay is LA. Wagwan Brethren. Appreciate you logging in and rocking with us, man. Big shout to Christopher Pastors, aka Big C. Appreciate y'all, man. You know what I mean? Locking in. JC Foy, Randy Bazil, and everybody that was able to check in on this episode. We appreciate you, and we're going to continue to be here each and every week. Next week, we're going to have my man Richard Dolphin in here. We're going to be dropping a new project. It's going to be crazy, man. Crazy episode. Looking forward to that. And listen, we will see y'all next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Right here on Rise Up Worldwide. Y'all got anything y'all want to say before we roll out?
Just a blessing to be here. I'll catch y'all on the next episode that I appear on. God bless y'all.
Yes, sir. Yeah. LNF.
I'm going to say shout out to my boy, Isaac Mather. We're going to play this music video from him. His new single, Stranded. Go check it out. Stream it, download it, buy it. This is my young boy right here, Isaac Mather.
Yeah. You know what it is. Stay tuned. Stay blessed. See y'all next week.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stage, Isaac Mather with his new record, Stranded.